What's good, fight fans? Your Majesty speaking. I'm coming back with my review of the Lubin versus Ortiz fight. I know I'm a little late. I actually had did a review right after the fight, and I was a little heated, so I may have said some things that I shouldn't have said, or some things that YouTube felt as though was not good for me to be able, for them to be able to post my video or whatever the case. So I had to kind of calm down a little bit. But I'm back to give my review and what I thought about the fight and what I think in general. I do know that all of the reports are coming out about Vergil and Boots supposedly going separate ways, and that was one of the things that my rant was about in my follow-up video, because based on how Oscar was answering certain questions in the post-fight press conference, it led me to believe that he either didn't want this fight next, or he wanted to make the fight hard to make so that he could somehow put the ball in Vergil's court. One of the things he kept saying was, yeah, but Vergil holds the cards, and it's going to be a difficult fight to make. And so I'm trying to gather my thoughts on how I felt that moment so that I can relay it, because it was actually a great video. But I probably was using too much profanity or whatever the case may be, and they flagged me. But I want to say that the way Boots handled Lima and the way Vergil handled Lubin, it fed the fuel for me wanting to see that fight. So with Vergil crushing Lubin, and I'm gonna get into that because I'm a big Lubin advocate, and of course, if y'all seen my other videos, y'all should understand why that I advocate for people like Lubin, people like Sean Porter. But the damage that was done from Boots and Vergil, it pushed that fight into a stratosphere for me that I really didn't care about. And now that I've seen Boots and Vergil destroy their fighters, having Boots there and Vergil telling Boots, come here, and I felt like he was establishing some type of dominance. Like, yes, this is the fight I want next. Pretty much, I don't care what nobody else got to say about it. Boots, come here. Like, even if they telling you you can't get in the ring or whatever the case may be, come here. Let me holler at you. And I like it. So it amped me up because I'm like, okay, Vergil want that smoke. Now, I will say this. What they were saying did not impress me. It actually made me feel like if they were to fight next, which I definitely don't think they are, it made me feel like the buildup for that fight between the actual fighters was going to be absolute trash. Boots ain't really much of a talker. He going to keep saying, it's that time, it's about that time, or whatever the case. Vergil is too much of a nice guy to even really trash talk, so it ain't going to be much coming from him. It's kind of going to probably be like how Canelo and Crawford's buildup was. You didn't really have much from Canelo. He ain't going to talk but so much trash. Bud, not a natural trash talker, so it don't even come off as genuine when Bud is talking trash. So I can see this fight and the buildup for Vergil and Boots being like that, where it's like, y'all probably should just shut up and allow whoever's doing the 24/7 or whatever behind the scenes footage that we're gonna see to kind of help build the fight. But I knew it once I heard Oscar De La Hoya saying that the ball was in Vergil's court and the fight was gonna be difficult to make. But I'm trying to understand, like, what was the point? Like, y'all said that Boots wasn't gonna come. Boots shows up. Now you doing everything to kind of turn what we initially thought was going to be next to not be something else. I'm hearing stuff about Errol Spence and Jamel Charlo. And even though I'm fine with those fights, I'm not necessarily sure that I want to see Charlo come back and fight Vergil right away. Like, I'm one of those people who feel like, even like with the Crawford, he didn't need a tune-up, but had he taken one, I would have been okay with it. You trying to get acclimated to the weight class or whatever the case may be. Same with Boots. You taking the Lima tune-up, cool, no problem. You want to get acclimated to the weight class. I'm one of those people that feel like Jamel Charlo should probably take a tune-up. His last fight was at 168. A lot of times you don't know how your body's going to react when you lose that weight and, you know, try to come back. We saw it with Roy Jones, even though Roy went up more, you know, more weight when you look at it. But moving up and then dropping back down, you never know how your body's going to feel. So I am an advocate of make sure you good before you get in those fights, because once you get in there and fight, I don't want to hear excuses. So the last thing I want is Charlo to come back and not look good or lose to Vergil. And then, you know, it's just too much dumb stuff, if you ask me. So for me, it's just frustrating when you get those two level of performances, Boots versus Lima, Vergil versus Lubin, and you hype this stuff up and you got the crowd feeling like this is next, and then only to it kind of put me in the mind of when Sean Porter beat Danny Garcia. And some of y'all may remember this. Errol Spence jumped in the ring. Yeah, we're going to fight next. Once again, somebody that's not a great trash talker. Sean Porter's like, yeah, we're going to fight. And then in the post-fight press conference, I think Porter said something like, yeah, you know, if it's up to me, I want it to be next, but that's not what's in the plans. And then we get a Ugas fight in between. Granted, we did end up finally getting the Spence fight, but it's like, bro, what marination normally is to build the fight from a numbers perspective. From my understanding, pay-per-view is dead, right? So once again, I got a video coming about DAZN and this changing the prices and shit stuff too. So I'm gonna save that for a totally different video. But I don't know. Maybe I'm off. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. I'm just irritated because the destruction that I seen from Boots and then the destruction that I seen from Lubin had me to the point where it's like, bet, I can't wait to see it. It's an amazing clash of styles. You got Boots being able to do anything in the ring, be slick, be aggressive, stay on the back foot, switch stances, punch hard with both hands. And then you got Vergil that come forward aggressive, Julio Cesar Chavez type style where he going to be in your grill the whole night. That made for, or would have, or will make for a great fight, because that's a fight where you know the action is going to be there. So to scale it back, and now you're talking about Vergil versus Earl. Once again, another person who has had a super long layoff. Hopefully he is healed. No disrespect to Earl Spence, but he's had a super long layoff, and now you popping him in there with Vergil. It's almost like a recipe for disaster. How about we let Earl get a tune-up fight? Or if Earl and Charlo fight each other, cool. No harm, no foul. They both been out for a long period of time, and they can rust up, clean the rust up off on each other if need be. But I think it's the reason why boxing is in the space that it is in, where somebody like Turkey can come in and pretty much take over the sport, or somebody like Dana White can come in and pretty much take over the sport, is because boxing is lacking in the fan approval aspect of things. And so something like a zoo for boxing, which I also have another video coming about why I feel like having a league would be beneficial, is because we wouldn't have to deal with this. You rank and you this and you that, and you got to fight this person. If you don't want to fight, have a good one. Simple as that. But I don't want to go on too much of a rant. This video already 10 minutes long, longer than I wanted it to be. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so, and hit the notification bell so that you will be notified when I drop future videos, and also share the video. If you have not followed my social media pages, please do so. They are in front of you. And until next time.